Everybody, welcome back to day 2 of ECGC. Next up, we've got Juan Escudero, and I probably did that wrong, but at least I hopefully got it a little close.
Very close.
Juan is the co-founder and CTO of Friday Mood, which is a outsourcing company for the industry, and he's going to talk about how you can externalize your teams. So Juan, take it away.
Okay. Let me share you with the presentation. Well, hello, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon. That's the great thing about digital events. You can reach the people worldwide. Boundaries fell and everything is now available for everyone. For instance, I work in Spain and I can talk in this conference with no need to travel or without rushing at work as I have to be off of the work for a couple of days. This is just a little detail of what I wanted to talk to you about. The COVID has changed a lot of our lives, mainly imposing restrictions and limitations. However, it also brought processes, accelerations, and opportunities for new discussions. The human being is an evolving creature, and we're in a confrontation of our next biggest step. A situation which also brings us the always in mind conversation. How can we live better? How can we work better? How can we do our best with our companies and with our IPs? My name is Juan. I'm the co-owner of Friday Mood, a video game outsourcing studio based in Spain and attending needs worldwide. But I don't want to talk about my book. I'm here to share with you the experience of clients and data to back your step on externalizing teams and how that can improve your product. I'm going to leave a few minutes after they speak to answer any questions you might have, so feel free to ask whatever you need to know, and I'll be happy to answer. If we run out of time, we'll move to Discord after the speech. So let's move on. Current landscape. Before COVID, the studios delivering their services to external teams were already over 80%. Easy question. Do you think COVID has speeded this data up? As you might suspect, it is a big yes. In fact, the pandemic has speeded up the process of trusting in remote work, implementing processes that provide the employees with tools to work wherever they prefer, and also opening the door to new opportunities around the world. For example, our company was firstly thought as a traditional company based in Madrid, and that means you have to pay an expensive office in a centric place, you have to commute, and in my case, as an owner, spend less time with my family, as sometimes, unfortunately, well, and thankfully, I have to take care of some projects until late. After COVID, we transformed our company into a full remote company. We cut some space expenses and that we can now invest in hiring quality, improving our team, and getting new tools and trainings. This is a spoiler of what we will discuss, but also a good moment to make you think about how you were investing the money before and how you are spending it now in your team. Is it any difference? Now let's get to the point. Let's talk about how externalizing teams and trusting in remote work improves the quality of your game. The world is your studio. First of all and more imminent, you can work with anyone in any part of the world. And that means you can work with people in different time zones than you. That means work hours are expanded. You can attend your clients at any time and work in a non-stop routine with no need to do extra hours or salaries, as everyone would have a comfortable and adequate work time. Obviously, when your team is relaxed and their working hours are always the same, they can enjoy more their free time. And that means more comfortable and happy working, less stress, and more productivity and creativity. Sounds perfect for a work atmosphere, right? And also, you can work with diverse people who will contribute with a more inclusive and open-minded feedback. This is not only important for the product, but also to solve problems with a new, fresh perspective. Every culture has a philosophy of life and different ways of rationalizing. So including different people from all around the world will make your team to be richer, supporting more solutions and points of view to those processes, the management and organization, but also to creativity, product details, usability, and mindset. So way of thinking and diversity is an important point, but expenses is a good one as well. Not only in the case of saving office and commute expenses for you and your team, but also every country has its own economy costs and services that might be different. As I told you, in our case, those savings helped us to invest in other things, such as better work quality for employees from home, or more experienced and senior team members. But also, having less expenses gives you the chance to explore with your product, as those experiments would affect less in their return of our investment. It's more market feedback with a good old Diablo 2 inventory. That's great. Having that transcultural team living in different parts of the world gives you, as we discussed, more opinions and feedback, which will make your product more open to every market and appealing to more people. But also, they will give you, with their feedback and proactive analysis, a native market perspective. We have to remind digital products have no borders. In a recent white paper about the video game industry in Spain, it was discussed only 4% of the national product has a physical game, and the main production in Spain is made in English. Why? In the video game industry, there's no build local shopping. Your country is an additional country, and it might not be even a tier 1 in the country market research. As I've said, the digital products have no border. They are transcultural. However, not all the products are appealingly designed or friendly to all cultures, spaces, minorities, etc. User experience, conceptualization, or logic are also linked with culture and tradition. The concept of neutrality and intuition must also be adapted to our market. And having in your team something like that will make this adaptation easier. Only working with local teams will shorten your perspective, and you will focus too much in your environment and culture, making your game less appealing and accessible for the rest of the world. Non-stop production, externalizing your team to different time zone countries. This has a big impact on production and a healthy atmosphere at your studio. This affects positively in the final product, of course. Working with other teams in different parts of the world means working hours while others are in off hours. Bank holidays are different, and you can adjust better to deliveries with a non-stop production. No need to crunch, just to be organized. You can attend your clients at any time and no need of extra hours or salaries, as everyone would have a comfortable and adequate work time. Obviously, when your team is relaxed and their working hours are always the same, they can enjoy more the free time, and that means more comfortable and happy working, less stress, and more productivity and creativity. As I said earlier, it's perfect for a work atmosphere. And these are just the most interesting points, which will directly affect your production and your life in the studio. According to a recent research by Figure.NC, around half of the New Zealand workforce, 56% women and 49% men, would like to work from home. And according to Review 42, also globally, 90% of remote workers would recommend remote working to their friends. Also, according to Review 42, savings per employee who work remotely could be as much as $11,000, and 77% say they are more productive working from home. If you organize the pieces properly, for example, you could have a QR rounds being done while your dev team is off because they are in other time zone, and making those pieces matching could be perfect for those bug fixings and QA rounds. But the case is trust in experience. Externalizing is great. It gives you more market and IP perspective. But I can hear your heads speaking about how to pick the best external employee and how a worldwide team could be organized. It seems too chaotic at first, but the key is this, and very simple: trust in experience. One of the main issues with externalized teams are the lack of confidence in the first moment and a longer time to adapt to the quality, expectations, and responsibilities. Also, an international process is difficult for junior members. They don't have the experience and will need more leadership to deliver their results. My recommendation, a change of structure focused on hiring in-house quality and outsourcing the process. Why are you going to invest that much money on human resources for junior members, distance training, etc.? It's an investment of money with no sure recovery. Sometimes the employee is not the right person for that kind of task, or the place for that junior is just an extra hand for another big task. If the path of an employee is to grow and to become a valuable asset in your company, why not organize your structure in a way you outsource hiring professional expertise for the routine while your team is focused on creative brand tasks? This is not a way of just saving or restructuring for nothing. It's a way of investing in a smooth way for your team to develop exceptional products, focusing on the real problems, such as product identity, creativity, user experience, and quality, while you deliver the mechanical production to a team expert on doing that. There exist many ways of organizing your team in this new era. It's logical, the fact that new ways of work means new organization. One way where third parties, partnerships, and outsourcing takes a more important role in a development chain. Contacting an outsourcing service means contracting a quality team member to deal with both senior and junior tasks, and incorporating a new member to deal with more monotonous and mechanical processes will take time to reach the point where the return of that return over investment turns positive. Instead, finding an outsourcing partner with time, paths, and quality standards appropriate for your product could be helpful. In any part of the world, for any kind of different projects. Outsourcing companies are used to deal with different games, adapting them to different markets, and having many clients. All of this further experience for your product, leveling up your IP and business flow. But outsourcing companies are also around the world, so you can easily work with companies in different time zones to take profit from that for the production flow. They will take care of your product with proficiency, and your confidence about the final result will be stronger. Thus, you can work better and more focused on important matters, as we say, to getting the quality standards that you really want for your game. And well, like that mysterious strangers outsourcing who could be helpful in the hardest moment. We all know about companies that have those crazy crunch when the deadline is almost met and everything has to rush. So having a good organization and trusting in another outsourcing team could save you from having those crazy crunches and getting the game smoother and on time. And I think I went too fast because yes, this is the last question. So, and this is it. I hope you found this chat interesting. I would be very glad to answer questions you have about organization paths, outsourcing services, or development chains with external partners. I can answer with my experience and the experience of all the clients we have. If you don't have any questions right now, or you prefer to do it in another way, I know sometimes those digital conferences are a little orthopedic for these questions and answers moments. You have here my email, and I'll be in the Meet to Match room too. And as I've said, I will jump off to the Discord server. Well, thanks you so much. I hope you're gathering a great bunch of ideas and from this conference for your companies and IPs. And I'm really learning a lot from what I've heard in other conferences. And thanks also to the organization for their great work and letting me talk here.
So I've got a question, Juan.
Okay.
When companies are looking to find outsource studios or outsource contractors, what are the main questions that they should be asking?
The questions while looking for outsourcing teams.
Yeah, when a developer comes to you, for example, and they're looking to hire you all to do a port or art or whatever it may be, what questions should they be asking you to make sure that that outsourcing partner is a good fit for them?
Well, first of all, if they have done anything similar, what you need to do now, because outsourcing studios usually make a lot of different projects. So asking if they have done something similar to what you need to do is the first question. The thing is that usually the outsourcing studios cannot share specific details of projects that they have made because of non-disclosure agreements. So sometimes outsourcing studios cannot share everything, but they can for sure answer if they have done something similar about what you need and your quality standards at your level. Maybe you want to a AAA game and you need to know if that team has worked in AAA games or not.
Hey, Danielle, can you clarify your question? I don't fully understand what you're asking there. So with studios delivering their services to external teams, was it just with outsourcing or to teams that are already working for the studio?
Well, it could be both. You can have in your studio teams from different places of the world, and also you can have an outsourcing studio that helps you in another place. You could do both of them.
Did that answer your question, Danielle? So do you think post-pandemic we're going to see a big return to the office, or do you think we're going to see more and more companies continuing to find partners outsourced and remote work in general?
Well, it was growing previously to the pandemic, so maybe a few will come back to their offices, but I think that the trend would keep. It's going to keep to grow for this remote or at least partially going to the office and partially doing remote work. And this is a thing that many companies are doing or planning to do right now.
So how do you obviously you run a studio, but for the folks out there that are either starting a studio or they're individuals, what do you do to market your services and promote what you're doing to try to find new clients?
Well, the luck is that I've been working in games for more than, 12 years. And I know a lot of people placed in many games companies. So that's what is helping me better. But also, taking care about, the websites or the social media and all that stuff. It's always helpful, but the contacts and networking is always what works better. And also, it's simple, but the good results with your clients. If a client is happy with you, it's gonna recommend you to another studio that might need help, or or publisher or whoever needs.
So it's a lot of networking and word of mouth, right?
That's it.
Yeah. So and I think that's what a lot of especially new people to the industry and new companies are struggling with right now is networking and building that network when we're not going to conferences. I mean, have you any tips there on how to build that network when we're not all showing up in San Francisco for GDC or in Raleigh for ECGC or Cologne for Gamescom?
Well, there are many small events also that the beers and networking for our game jams, or there are also some not those high level events, but also small ones where you can meet people that is already working on big some studio or whatever. So getting to know people who works in the industry is always helpful. And I think it's a small world, like knowing people in the games industry. They are not when you have been working a while, you pretty much know anyone in almost any company. So yeah, after a while, it's easier to know people everywhere.
So Nick asked, who in the US are you currently working with, or on which games?
Well, as I've said, we cannot say everyone, but right now at this moment, we are not working with any USA now.
So Walter asked, do you think practicing martial arts helps with your games?
Of course, you need to struggle with the stress about creating games sometimes.
That's a very good point. That's
to get the stress out, you need to punch someone in the face sometimes.
All right, so Jack's got a question. Do you outsource all aspects of game development, or is it more limited to things such as programming, art, and QA? Or do you also assist in outsourcing project directing or even operations?
Well, it depends on the need of each company. Maybe they are good, at developing, and they might need a hand on art, or maybe their team is a bit junior and they need someone to guide them in a good way, while their juniors help them lend a hand to the process made for the outsourcing company helping them. But yeah, any part could be externalized. It depends, of course, on the company willing to what the needs of the company are.
So, Jack, I mean, I can tell you from my side too, there are a lot of companies who specialize in outsourcing live ops, and even we do it at my firm for project management and production too. So, and Aaron has a good point when you talk about networking. Our friends over at Meet to Match, their website has all kinds of upcoming game industry events, and the Discord server that you're all on right now is actually a really good place to do networking as well. Yeah. I think that's it for right now, Juan. I mean, Juan's going to be on the Discord, so if you've got questions, afterwards, feel free to pop them out there. And then let's put up there's your website. If you've got questions, go right over to Friday-Mood And so with that,
you can type also to my email to this hello.
I didn't see it. Yeah. Hello at friday-mood.com.
That's it. You can ask me there and I will be happy to answer whatever you ask. Maybe later it arise any questions.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. And to everyone else, we will be back in about half an hour with our fireside chat with John Romero. Talk to you soon.
Nice. Have a nice day and enjoy the remaining event.